There's never going to be another Dr. J. I knew that. There's never going to be another Elgin Baylor. I knew that. So the kids of tomorrow, it's never going to be another Michael Jordan. It can be a Grant Hill, it can be Anthony Hall, it can be Kobe Bryant. But Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan.
From North Carolina!
Who would have ever thought that Michael would become all-universe?
Edgar!
He set a standard for everybody. You know, I don't know if people can reach what he's done, but it's a challenge to try to get there.
I thought Jesus never will retire, you know. I thought Jesus worked 7 days a week. On 6 days, he rested on Sunday, didn't he? Well, Michael Jordan played on Sunday.
Welcome in. Thanks for joining us for the very latest from Sportscenter. Bob Stevens alongside Bill Pito. Hey, the Clippers hired a coach today. Nice timing, huh? Plenty of college hoops, too. But first,
The worst-kept secret in Chicago. After Michael Jordan brought Chicago back in the final minutes of Game 6 against Utah last spring, Phil Jackson said that was the greatest Jordan had ever been in a big game. Jordan himself said winning the 6th title was the hardest, the greatest challenge. Feeling now there is nothing left to conquer, Jordan announced his retirement today from the game that made him an American hero. He says goodbye, knowing his last shot won a championship. We begin our coverage with Dan Patrick in Chicago.
It was difficult because you're giving up something that you truly, truly love. And my love for the game is very strong, and it's hard to give up that love. But for the sake of the mental challenges that Michael Jordan needs to drive himself to be the best basketball player he can be, I don't want to fool myself going into a situation knowing that I'm not 100% challenged mentally. Physically I feel fine, but mentally I just felt like I didn't have the challenges in front of me. If Phil Jackson would have been the coach what I played on, that's a big if. I retired the first time when Phil Jackson was the coach, and I think that even with Phil the coach, I would have had a tough time mentally finding a challenge for myself, although he could somehow present challenges for me. I don't know if he could have presented a challenge for me to continue on with this season.
When Michael retired in 1993, we retired his number 23 and hung it in a position of prominence from the rafters. When Michael came back from baseball, he asked me to take it down. He felt funny about playing when his number was hanging up above, and so we took it down. Today, Michael, we are returning your number 23 to its rightful place of honor, where it will forever serve as a reminder of your dominance on this court and your dominance of this game. For the last season, for the last game, for the last shot, I would like to present to you the 1998 World Championship ring, which certainly means a lot to all of us. Where is it? So, Michael, thank you very much for what you have meant to all of the world. There'll never be another one like you.
Jerry, Michael, would you get in front of
Well, this is a day that I think I hoped would never come. It has to be the toughest day in the history of the Chicago Bulls. It's a tough day for Chicago. It's a tough day for the NBA. It's a tough day for basketball fans all over the world, and for Michael Jordan fans all over the world.
Thank you for gracing our court for 13 seasons, and I disagree with Jerry. This is not a sad day. This is a great day, because the greatest basketball player in the history of the game is getting the opportunity to retire with the grace that described his play.
I think the game itself is a lot bigger than Michael Jordan. I've been given an opportunity by people before me, to name a few: Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Dr. J, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. These guys have played the game way before Michael Jordan was born. And Michael Jordan came on the heels of all that activity, and with Mr. Stern and what he's done for the league, and gave me an opportunity to play the game of basketball. And I played it to the best that I could play it, and tried to enhance the game itself. I've tried to be the best basketball player I could be, and next thing you know, here we are as a league. The best way to survive without Michael Jordan is, somehow start to live without him, you know, in some respects. And I'm always going to support the Chicago Bulls because it's given me, you know, a great joy to be a part of the organization. But life without Michael Jordan somehow has to be, and sometimes has to be, without Michael Jordan's input. It's sad that I have to, you know, that I'm leaving the game, but it's happy because my life is starting to go into a whole nother stage. Basketball, for me, was the first stage. It got me to this point in my life, and, you know, I knew it had to end. I chose to walk away knowing that, you know, I can still play the game. And that's what I've always wished, you know, for my career to end. You know, that's exactly the way I wanted to end it.
Michael, is there any chance whatsoever that you'll change your mind somewhere down the road and return?
No. I never say never, but 95, 99.9%, I'm very secure with my decision. It's not really 100%, but it's close. You know, so, you know, that's where I stand. I'm not going to say never, you know, say 99.9, and you take it as what it's worth.
Our NBA insider, David Aldridge, joins us. David, I'll give you the unenviable task of trying to attach some historical significance to what Michael Jordan has meant to the sport.
Well, I can start from a personal anecdote here. I mean, I would not be here if it weren't for Michael Jordan. I mean, I think Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird made the NBA a league worth covering these last 2 decades. And I think that trickle-down effect has affected me and a lot of other people. But individually, Michael Jordan, if you think about what everyone else has done before, Bill Russell won 11 titles in 13 years, Oscar Robertson, Julius Erving, Jerry West, all number of great players, but I don't think any of them, Dan, did that and affected the culture. And I think that's what makes Michael Jordan unique among all of these great NBA players. But the Bulls will have a lot of salary cap room, and even if they don't do anything this year, Dan, they will be a player next offseason. And let's keep in mind, next offseason isn't that far away.
Following Wednesday's press conference, Carlos Diaz spoke to quite a few people whose lives were touched by Michael Jordan.
I'm here for the same reason you guys here. You know, I think this is the day that, you know, we're like the greatest player ever is hanging up his shoes.
I think it's obvious the attention that this is getting. He's meant a great deal to an awful lot of people.
He's just happy. You know, I can't put it any other way. I think he's really happy. I think he's solid with this decision. And so if he's happy, I'm happy for him.
For a retirement present, Jordan received his 6th championship ring, a fitting scene for the Hollywood ending of his career.
You think of the last couple seconds of his career as in a finals game on the road for the championship where he makes a basket, steals a ball, makes a basket, game, set, match over, career over, and that's what you remember.
His legend will grow. He's leaving at the best time to leave. He's on top. He hit the last shot. He's the best player still. He can still do it. He's proven it. And there's not a better storybook ending that you could write. Real life is imitating art right now.
What's the fondest memory you have of Michael Jordan?
Winning champions.
Fitting that he goes out as the best, and all of us wishing that we could see a little more.
Bulls owner Jerry Reinsdorf called it a tough day for Chicago. And if the Bulls can no longer provide the self-esteem for this proud sports city as they have for the past decade, the tough days have only begun.
David, let me echo what the commissioner said following Michael's press conference on Wednesday. The dismantling of the Bulls, Michael retiring, Scotty probably not back, levels the playing field for the rest of the league. You have probably 10 or 12 teams right now that say we have a chance to steal this title. That's positive for the NBA. The negative part is they still don't have that one guy that when that team goes on the road, you say, I want to go see that guy play.
Yeah, I think Shaquille O'Neal's the only guy that even comes close to filling that bill in terms of being a road draw. This league was successful not only with the individual marketing of superstars, but I think still with teams. And the Celtics and the Lakers in the 80s, their rivalry was really what got this league back on its feet again. And I think the league is going to have to look again at trying to get rivalries going within the leagues, within the teams, because you have a number of teams I think might be able to fill that bill. Indiana, Miami, Charlotte is a team that could have that natural rivalry with an Atlanta, something like that. They have to find that formula where they can find 4 or 5 teams to really hang their hat on until they can identify the guys that are the next superstars. Obviously, a Tim Duncan is in the bullpen ready to go. A Grant Hill is out there. But I think a lot of the guys that are going to carry this league into the next millennium aren't in the league yet. I mean, I think they're guys that are in high school and college right now.
So you think the NBA needs to adopt that same philosophy the NFL has? Create a Bears versus Packers type of mentality around the league?
I do, because I don't think anybody can do for this league what Michael Jordan did for this league, and that is make it compelling for people who aren't traditional basketball fans to watch. From a dramatic standpoint, I think they're going to have to get back to the hardcore issues, which is good basketball between good teams.
They've turned out the lights here at the United Center, which seems to be symbolic in more ways than one. We'll take the cue. For David Aldridge, I'm Dan Patrick. Let's go back to the studio.
On behalf of my wife from Chicago and myself, that we wish Michael Jordan well. We admire him, we like him very much, and we thank him for years of thrilling exploits.
Certainly this is a memorable day, and that a career, perhaps the best that any athlete's ever had, has come to an end, and yet it is his decision, and one which, of course, anyone who cares about Michael, as we do, support.
I'll know one thing as a coach, and it's not a very settling notion or feeling, is that, when I lay my head down on the pillow every single night, I know there's one guy that I never had a chance to beat. That bothers me. So, and I don't think I'm going to get another chance at it.
He's obviously like a brother to me. He's a great friend of mine. I'm happy for him. And every athlete's dream is to have a career like his and finish with a championship and making your last shot.
You look at everything that he's done and accomplished. I mean, it's like, he can walk away from the game and have no doubts and have no regrets because he's already accomplished everything that he set out to accomplish. And it's gonna be sad for the game of basketball, but I'm happy for him.
You don't pass the torch; you earn the torch. No, nobody gave Dr. J the torch; he earned it. Nobody gave Magic Bird the torch. Nobody gave Michael the torch.
I think Michael's had an influence not just on basketball players. He's had a tremendous influence on the business world, tremendous influence on marketing. It's just he's an incredible person, the greatest basketball player that's ever played the game, and his love for the game, his passion for winning, I think would be something that you would hope your own players at any level, whether it be high school or college or NBA, would try to emulate.
Thank you for this being Michael Jordan and also being a person who helped me raise my game to a high level. Thank you for entertaining the fans all across the world. Thank you for just being Michael Jordan, a professional, a class act, a guy who has taught all of us how to be a professional, how to win, how to be a champion, but doing it in the right way. And that's why I was hoping that he would stay one more year to just help out these younger NBA players learn how to be a true professional.